What if I told you that your life is not controlled by luck, talent, or even your past, but by a few small habits your brain repeats every single day? Think about that for a second. The way you wake up, the way you react to stress, the way you talk to yourself when no one is listening. These tiny mental patterns quietly shape your confidence, your income, your relationships, and even your happiness. And the scary part? Most people never notice them. Today, I'm going to share brain habits that can truly change your life. Not in a dramatic movie-style way, but in real, lasting transformation. And if you're new here, welcome to Brainora, where we unlock the hidden power of your mind. Make sure you like this video and subscribe within the next minute, because the more you train your brain with the right ideas, the stronger it becomes. Now, let's begin. The first habit that changes everything is the habit of conscious awareness. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up, scroll their phone, react emotionally, complain, overthink, and repeat the same cycle. But the moment you start observing your thoughts instead of becoming them, you gain power. When a negative thought appears, instead of saying, "This is true," you say, "Interesting. My brain is thinking this." That small shift creates space, and in that space, you choose your response. High performers are not people with fewer negative thoughts. They are people who don't blindly believe every thought their brain produces. The second habit is future-based thinking. Your brain is like a prediction machine. It constantly imagines what will happen next. If you always imagine failure, embarrassment, or rejection, your brain prepares your body for fear. But if you intentionally imagine growth, success, and progress, your brain starts searching for opportunities instead of threats. Spend just 5 minutes a day visualizing the person you want to become. Not in a fantasy way, but in a practical, detailed way. How does she speak? How does she handle pressure? What choices does she make? When you repeat this often, your brain slowly aligns your behavior with that identity. Another powerful habit is emotional labeling. When you feel stressed, anxious, or angry, most people react immediately. But research shows that simply naming your emotion reduces its intensity. Instead of saying, "I am stressed," say, "I am noticing stress." Instead of, "I am angry," say, "I feel anger rising." This simple sentence activates the rational part of your brain and calms the emotional center. It sounds small, but over time this habit protects your relationships and your mental health. Let's talk about the habit of controlled input. Your brain is shaped by what you feed it. News, social media, conversations, music. Everything leaves a trace. If your daily input is negative, dramatic, and full of comparison, your internal world becomes chaotic. But if you protect your mental diet, your thinking becomes clearer. Try replacing just 20 minutes of scrolling with learning, reading, or listening to something that expands your perspective. Over months, this small change compounds in ways you cannot imagine. Now here's a habit that most people avoid: deliberate discomfort. Your brain loves safety. It wants predictability. But growth lives outside comfort. When you regularly do small, uncomfortable things, speaking up in a meeting, starting a workout, having a difficult conversation, you train your brain to see discomfort as safe. Each time you survive something challenging, your brain rewires its fear response. Confidence is not born from comfort. It is built through repeated proof that you can handle hard things. Another life-changing habit is self-talk management. Your brain listens to the voice you use inside. If your inner dialogue is harsh, critical, and hopeless, your nervous system stays in stress mode. But if you speak to yourself like a supportive mentor, your brain feels safe enough to take risks. This does not mean fake positivity. It means balanced truth. Instead of, "I always fail," say, "I didn't succeed this time, but I can learn." Over time, this changes your identity, and identity drives behavior more than motivation ever will. Let's move to focus training. In today's world, attention is currency. Every notification steals a little piece of your cognitive power. When you train your brain to focus deeply, even for 25 minutes without distraction, you strengthen neural pathways linked to discipline and creativity. Start small. Set a timer. Work on one task only. When your mind wanders, Gently bring it back. This simple practice increases productivity and reduces anxiety because your brain stops jumping between unfinished tasks. Gratitude is another underestimated brain habit. When you actively look for what is working instead of what is missing, your brain adjusts its filtering system. You begin noticing opportunities, kindness, and progress. This does not ignore problems. It balances them. Try ending your day by mentally listing 3 specific things that went well. Not generic ones. Specific moments. This trains your brain to scan for positives throughout the day. Sleep protection is also a brain habit. Many people treat sleep as optional, but sleep is when your brain processes emotions, stores memories, and clears toxins. When you reduce sleep, you weaken decision-making and emotional control. Protecting your sleep schedule is not laziness. It is mental performance strategy. And finally, there is the habit of long-term thinking. Most people choose what feels good now instead of what builds a better future. Your brain loves immediate rewards, but when you pause and ask, will this matter in 5 years? You activate deeper reasoning. This question alone can change financial decisions, health choices, and even relationships. Here's the truth. You don't need a new personality. You don't need perfect discipline. You need small, repeated brain habits. The brain changes through repetition, not intensity. Even 1% improvement daily compounds into massive transformation over time. If something in this video resonated with you, pause for a second and think, which one habit will you start today? Don't choose all of them. Choose one. Write it down. Commit to it for 30 days. And come back to Brenora to tell us what changed. I truly want to hear your experience. Before you leave, share this video with someone who is trying to improve their life but feels stuck. Sometimes one idea at the right time can shift someone's entire direction. And in the comments, tell me which brain habit you think is the hardest to build. Your answer might inspire someone else.